Hello?
Nutsack.
My
We're live.
cousin and I touched wieners.
Well, see if it comes up on the thing. Oh, yeah, there we are. 11 seconds ago.
See.
Turn my volume off. There we go. Now we can see. All right. Well, here we are for the first time in 2 weeks. So I want to give everybody, well, let's start out with this. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown HobbyPlex and a manager and race director for the off-road track. And with me as always,
Will Brinton.
And we're here for the HobbyPlex Show podcast, where we talk about mostly stuff HobbyPlex related, but every once in a while we get into something beyond that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this show brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. And if you mention our show, after you contact either Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, you can get yourself a 0.125 off your interest rate or $500 lender credit. 0.125, isn't it? Or is it 0.125?
0.125.
Yeah, it's 0.125. Anyways.
Eighth of a percent.
Yeah. And, they've helped us bring this to you mostly weekly, which is one thing I want to bring up. So I kind of decided last week after conferring with Will here that I have a manager's meeting the first Monday of every month, usually. And what that consists of is being at the Plex in a meeting for like sometimes 4 hours, and it starts at noon. So basically my Mondays are my day off usually, right? And so then that day specifically ends up being like noon to 4 sometimes, and then I got to go home and I get to chill for an hour, and then I got to turn around and come down here, and then this takes, a couple hours usually by the time I get home. So that Monday is pretty much shot. So what we're going to do is usually the first Monday of every month, we're not going to do a podcast. We're just going to take that night off.
Oh, all right.
That way,
cool, man.
Yeah, that way, if I have the manager's meeting thing, then the rest of the night I can go do something, fish or ride my bike or whatever, or just chill.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there will only be, that one Monday a month, unless sometimes the way the schedule works out, like last week, the first Monday of the month I was doing a big track build, and I didn't want to delay that as much as possible. So I requested that we have the next week be the manager's meeting. And that's kind of why we weren't on last week. So, so that's a little scheduling announcement, just to kind of prioritize some things and make Will and I's lives a little easier sometimes.
Yeah. Mark your calendars.
Yeah. Mark your calendars. First Monday of every month, probably no podcast.
Yeah, probably not. News to me. I just found out about it.
Oh, really?
You guys.
I thought I texted you that.
You didn't text me that.
Oh, crap. Okay, well, now you know that first Monday of the month, I really don't want to do a podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Okay, all right.
I'm okay with it. What if I was like, you son of a bitch? I got like really mad. What are we doing here?
You didn't discuss it with me?
Yeah.
I thought I did. I could have swore I texted you or talked to you.
You said, maybe, I don't know. You said something like, this last week, or I don't know, me at work, it's just been one long fever dream, honestly.
Oh.
Just a blur. Anyway, if you told me, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't think you did.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Well, at least you're busy.
No. Oh, yeah. I worked another, was it 6 hours on Saturday? Yeah, I worked 6 hours on Saturday. I got there at like 6 Saturday morning after not getting home from Hobbytown until
Friday.
I got home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got home at stroke of 1, maybe.
It's like the good old days.
Like that. Yeah, man. Except I would just like stay at your house or something. We practice on Saturday.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will.
Did your camera slip?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe my chair went down. Maybe it did. I think it did slip also. Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Get your nice big AE t-shirt on.
Yeah, it's vintage.
I'm proud of Emerson. He's been wearing his associated shirt or hoodie to school.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is new old stock. I got it at I got this shirt at what was it? This hobby shop in South Dakota that I went to that one time. I found this shirt there. I was like, oh, I haven't seen one of those in years. I'm going to buy it, and it was new on the rack. So it'd probably been there for
I don't
10
like,
years.
I don't like ordering shirts specifically for that reason.
Why?
Hardly
What?
anybody
Oh,
buys them.
yeah.
And then you end up with they come out with a new shirt, and then you end up with the old shirts. And when most of the time, all of our shirts get given to us for giveaways.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I don't order hats or anything either anymore. I used to, but they just end up sitting around. Nobody buys them.
Yeah. You know, usually like guys that aren't like sponsored, they kind of hold out for the free hat.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I'm thirsty. I'm going to open this up.
Okay. Hi, Thirsty. I'm Dad.
I risked my life to get to the QT at Industrial Road or Saddle Creek and Harrison today.
Oh, wow.
Because you got to drive I start driving at 5:30, which is in the middle of rush hour, and I'm going the wrong way, but it's still very, very busy, and people were driving like morons today.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. I almost got hit like 4 times. Then there's this guy in this Ford Explorer that was just right in his brakes the whole way down Industrial Road where it curves into Saddle Creek.
Oh, that was
and he was
thoughtful.
stacking up the whole thing because he was too scared to go around this truck that was next to him or something like that.
Yeah.
This is the worst. What are we going to talk about today? There's we skipped a week, so we had the Enduro last week.
Yeah.
We had Friday night racing. Good turnouts 2 weeks in a row. More than 50 entries, and then we had carpet racing Saturday with a great turnout for first one on the carpet. I was happy, really happy. And then we had a crawling event at the Plex that night, and then we had the Omahawks auction on Sunday. So we had an extremely busy couple weeks again.
Oh, wow.
It just never seems to end. And then there's some new releases. We got the SCX6, that big behemoth 6-scale rock crawler.
Oh, really?
It's sitting at the Plex right now.
Huh.
They
That's
basically
pretty cool.
they basically sent them out so people could fondle them at their hobby shop,
Ooh.
and then put in a pre-order. They're $1,100.
What?
$1,099 plus tax.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice toy.
It's
Do
really
they race
heavy.
those? Do they race electric? Is it even something you'd race, or what
Nope.
would you do with it? Just play with it?
It's just one of those. It's one of those trucks, it's one of those RC cars that doesn't really fit into any sort of already established category.
How much is the max?
The Max, like
Yeah.
the X Max.
No, isn't there like a max?
The Traxxas Max is $549 now. It went up a little bit.
So somebody could literally come in and say they want a Trax Max, and you would know what they were talking about.
Kind of.
But like, I thought there was another. Oh, the X Max.
Yeah, the X
big
Max
one?
is the big one.
How much is that one?
$999.
Oh,
They
so it's
u-
kind of along. Is it fast?
Yes, the X Max is fast. The
No,
SC
the
no, it's a crawler. It's got a brushless
Oh, it's
system
a-
in it.
okay.
It basically they took an SCX10 3
Mhm.
and it literally looks like they just scaled it up.
Huh.
Except that it doesn't have a dig, but it does have a 2-speed.
So you crawl with it, huh?
Yeah, so there's a video of a guy. So I've been meaning to do a video on it, but honestly, time has been terrible. I had Sunday and Monday off, and we actually got it on Friday. And Friday I had to set up the carpet track, so I had no chance of putting a video up. So I kind of missed out on that, which I feel bad. But we couldn't drive it anyways. It's not ours to drive. It's actually one that we're going to sell once they become widely available. there's a certain date that you can't sell stuff before or whatever. So, anyways, but I did watch a few videos. There's a video of a guy literally riding it.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Was he a big guy or?
Kind of normal, kind of my size, I guess.
Like I could ride it.
Kind of dad bod size. So
interesting.
So, but yeah, we have it. I fondled it. That's about as far as I got before I had other stuff to do, other obligations. So, I might still be able to do I'm not going to do an unboxing video since it's already out of the box, but we might just take a look at it. But there's already, there's already a whole bunch of videos out there now. So, kind of feel like I missed out on that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
We got in the RB10. You know what that is?
No.
That is the ready-to-run, very B5-ish Team Associated car.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, rear motor.
Didn't Dustin Evans do a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dustin Evans did a thing where he drove it in the stock class at More RC.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm actually pretty excited about that car.
Yeah.
So we've had the SR10, which honestly didn't sell very well because we ordered a bunch of them, but it was at the end of our dirt oval season. So for us, it kind of missed, the timing wasn't correct. So we ended up with like 5 or 6 of them. We've actually marked them down and have sold, I think now 3 of them or whatever. So we still have a couple left. But and then there was of course the DR10, and of course we sold tons of those. And then but now we've got this RB10, and I think once the first person buys that and takes it to Family Friday Off-Road or something, and that'll be a good car for people to enter into Plex Spec racing.
Yeah.
But they could also jump out of Plex Spec, and I bet you it'd be a pretty good independent buggy car.
Right.
I mean, if you look at it, it uses the regular B6 ball cups. Yeah. And it's got the DR10, RB10 arms, so it has its own arms. But again, if you look at it, it's very similar to a regular B5, except the chassis is different because it can take a long pack instead of that big side pack. Remember when the B5 came out? Even though it was rear motor, it had the space for the big square pack.
Yeah, it was the big square battery that Associated came out with. It was pretty much a saddle pack all in one.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to use the jumper.
Yeah.
And it came with, you could use it with that battery with no foam, or you could put this foam insert in it and hold down a shorty pack.
Yep. So this chassis, so the front end and the rear end look very B5-ish, and then the chassis itself now has the spots for a long pack or a shorty pack that you could move around, which is kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
So that'd be a pretty cool enduro car, if you ask me. I think that'd be. It's almost like it came out 2 weeks too late for me. I would have bought one. Would have bought one and ran it in the enduro.
Yeah,
just because I could use long batteries. So
I had a B5 all ready to go for an enduro.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one time.
Oh.
It's a simpler time.
I bought a 22 2.0 mid motor to use in the enduro, then I changed my mind. Because I changed my mind because after looking at it, both cars that I had the slider rack steering.
Mm-hmm.
And those used to break all the time.
Yeah, that or they just wear out really bad.
And we don't have any parts for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if I use that car and we break a steering rack, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I just ended up using my B6.
Didn't another aftermarket company make an aluminum one?
Yeah. Yeah, there were some aluminum ones out there. Even Associated had, or not Associated, good Lord. Even Losi had ones that were aluminum.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's some new products at the Plex. What else did we get in? We got in these things called goat guns.
I saw that today.
Yeah. So we actually have enough stuff now that I should probably do a What's New Wednesday on Wednesday. Because we've gotten in quite a bit of new stuff. There's a bunch of new drag racing stuff that we have on the shelf. The RB10, the SE6, those are all new. The goat guns. We got a whole bunch of new toys, a whole bunch of new Bandai. Dude, I got to tell you, I'm actually thinking about making a commercial.
Yeah.
And then
you put over Omaha,
and then having that as our like Facebook campaign this year.
Okay.
Because so you know how everybody's worried about supply issues and stuff, and it's a legitimate thing.
You need to make it like the cheesiest damn commercial that it's ever been.
I know.
Like you come like on a ship, like green screen ship, and not like a shipping container. No. Like a pirate ship with the mermaid on the front of it, and you're on like Leonardo DiCaprio style on the front of it, but you're like in a pirate outfit with like one eye patch. And you're like, "Yar! Don't worry about supply issues. I've squandered a ton of booty." And it's like super ridiculous.
That's actually a really good idea. Damn it. Nobby's is closing. I wonder if they still have pirate stuff there.
Yeah, dude. You should totally do that.
That would be funny.
I could be like a actual pirate that you beat up.
Yeah.
Like a modern day pirate.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
But gosh.
Or I could like walk the plank, and you'd be like, walk the plank, or make high prices and supply chain issues. Walk the plank. And I'm wearing like an Amazon shirt. And I'm like,
Gosh, that's a really good idea. Dang. Pay attention, folks. That might be happening within the next few weeks. I'll have to look into it. I'll have to go see what I can find for like pirate costumes or something.
That, or I've always wanted to do a Mayor of Hobbytown commercial. Nobody has bought that mascot from me or taken it and ran with it and made it something. You know, you could do like, "Won't you take me to Hobbytown?" And like you be the Mayor of Hobbytown with like a big like Mayor McCheese style like outfit. I always wanted to do that. I always thought it'd be hilarious. I should be in advertising. I really should. But
John Haas says he's got a eye patch he can loan me. It's pretty funny. You can see that. Anyways, for those of you out there in internet land that'll watch this now or watching it later, dude, the supply thing is a legitimate deal. Like, there's stuff now that's not that I look at the dates on when it's expected, and it's not until like March.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's 6 months out. So the cool thing is just like last year, there was kind of this. I don't want to call it panic, but there was this worry that we weren't going to be able to get stuff for Christmas. So we ordered for Christmas stuff in like April, and just kept it, which is a big no-no in retail. You're not supposed to have that much inventory lying around all the time. But if you walk into the Plex, you would be hard pressed to find any of the big stuff that we're actually out of, because we've ordered so much of it and back ordered so much of it and all that. So the only thing that I see that might become a problem right now is still consumables. It's like carpet tires, for instance.
Yeah,
I'm worried about that. So I've been going on and just trying to find whatever I can to get into the store so we have it. But we've been so stocked up on stuff, worrying about not having product for Christmas, that we basically have been ready for Christmas since, say, August or July. So that's a good thing, and I want to exploit that. I want to take pictures and video and just show the world of, or at least our retail Omaha area that, hey, you know, yeah, you can't find you can't find stuff, or you don't know what to get your significant other, come to us. We got lots of stuff.
Yeah,
So
that'd be sweet.
it is going to be sweet.
But like a pirate.
Like a pirate.
Yeah, you have to, dude. I'm telling you,
that'd be really funny.
Dude, that video would go like viral, like in hobby industry.
Yeah, I hope so.
That'd be pretty.
We'll
sweet.
have to figure it out, because we can use my good camera, and I can edit it all together now that I know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure Margie'd help you.
Oh yeah.
I'm just the idea man. I'm not doing any work. No, I could come up and help maybe.
I got ideas, but I don't want to do any of it.
Yeah.
Where are we at? You want to talk about the Enduro?
Yeah.
That you weren't in?
Oh,
you went
just real quick.
You went camping?
Yeah. All you gas truck guys, all you gas truck mother truckers, I can't show it like a lot, but like this is a pipe that I am going to be pipe and manifold. I'm going to be testing for Chad. So like I couldn't do any up close and personal, so I keep it moving in front of the camera.
Chad, for those of you guys that don't know, Ignite RC, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. So there's that one, and then I got this one, the test. I have two pipes, both are different, same manifold to test. So be like thinking about that eventually here. Like, because there wasn't like there's kind of a problem with the old manifold, like they would split on that weld.
I was gonna say, didn't Wade break one? Yeah,
Wade and Jason theirs both broke, but I think that the dog, there's some that have broken, some that didn't. I can't really speak. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what if there was a huge issue or whatever, but so Chad at Ignite RC is working on a solution, another pipe and manifold setup that's going to be better.
Nice.
So it'll be cool.
Nice. Well,
yeah, let's talk about the Enduro.
Well, first off,
sorry, I want to include that in the what's new.
Yeah, since you brought that up, I mean, what's the word? What's the ground? Have you heard anything about the turnout for the Techno Series? I mean, are we actually going to get some guys to come up from the south to race that, or are we kind of stuck with what we got?
Chad said he's going to race every round, as long as it isn't like frozen.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, he said he was going to race every round. Come on. Taking the dog that's screaming downstairs with me.
Okay.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's coming for sure, and I'm sure he'll bring guys. And there's guys that race the Winter Series that run 8 scale anyway.
Yeah.
That have them are gonna race. So
that's good.
I think that if we get 10 trucks,
I just want a full heat.
Yeah,
8 to 10 trucks would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
7 to 10 trucks would be fine.
Yeah,
you
know, no volunteer quarter marshaling required.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
To hold the show up.
Yeah.
So, you guys that want to have a truck be successful and are all down and want to do it, you got to participate. It's a big deal.
Yep. All right, let's get caught up. So we had our 1,000 lap enduro 2 weeks ago now, and I was kind of disappointed. There's only 3 teams. I think that's the least amount of teams we had going into it. I thought for sure with the summer that we had that we'd have more than that. It's kind of like just a way to kind of just end our 10 scale indoor dirt season, I guess.
Yeah, wear your car out right before the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it started off. So the race started off. Actually, there was 3 teams. There was Talking Fish RC, which consisted of me, Emerson Sturgeon, and Garrett Paul. And then you had the other 2 teams, and I got to remember their names. And I'm trying to get my phone to let me in there. Gosh darn it. I can't remember the other two names real quick. I'm going to have to go in there and get it right now.
Team Alan Parsons Project.
That'd actually be really funny.
Ah, man, nobody used that name. I'm gonna use that name for something at some point.
Is Andy Barrett on here? What was TJ's team name? I forget. I can find it. HobbyPlex.
We like make them give us $5 to tell us their team name. We like ask them questions. Make them
That's right. It was Team Burt. That was Logan Prismanis, TJ Williams, the Web bro.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Webb, and I thought there was one more. Anyways,
Ernie?
No. Yeah, that'd be funny. Bert and Ernie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was Team Cup and Share. So it was Cupkey and Steve Wall, Cupkey's girlfriend, which I can't remember her name. Haley. There you go. Yeah, you're right. And
I think it's so funny when they walk in. I'm like, "Oh, hey Haley, how you doing?" Hey Cody. Anyway, go ahead.
And then they had a fourth as well, and I can't remember who that was now. Boy, it's like I'm the president. I can't think of anything. Like it just goes away.
You're like, hey, come on, man.
Let's go get some ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there. Okay. So what happened? Bender. That's right. Daniel Bender. He was on that team too. Yeah. Okay. So what happened was, and I'll try to summarize this very quickly because we got more stuff to talk about. But
yeah.
Basically, Team Burt. So Logan ran his mod 4-wheel drive 22X4. Not turned down, nothing. So his car was way faster than the other two. Steve ran his mini truggy, also not turned down. And then I ran my B6.3 with a 6.5 left in it because I couldn't get the stupid screw out. I stripped it. So
that's the most unprepared enduro ever.
It sucks. So I was gonna have a 13.5 geared conservatively and then also turned down just enough. I just wanted to make that triple in front and call it good. So I just did that with the 6.5 instead. And to be honest with you, that was probably better because it had a little bit more oomph. Mm-hmm. But we had tons of runtime. So Logan, he lapped me. I was running second. He lapped me before his battery died. So their first battery change, I got the lap back. And then I ran for probably another 10 minutes. And so it basically, they were faster than I was, but they had to do 2 battery changes for every 1 battery change that we had to make. Maybe it was even 3 because we were pushing, 25 minutes or so. So I got lapped right away, but then the battery died and then they changed out. So then that's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, all right, right now it's a race between Team Talking Fish and Team Burt because they've got a faster car as long as they keep it together and don't break it. Well, they broke it. They broke a bulkhead on it like 30 minutes in.
The world's hardest part to fix on that car.
Yeah, and so I think it took them a good 20, 25 minutes to fix that. And then right around the same time, Steve Wall's truck broke too.
No.
And I don't exactly remember what happened to it either, but basically they were both out, and it was just Emerson and Garrett driving around with nobody else on the track for a good 20 minutes. And so from that point, we had such a huge lead that all we really had to do was make sure that our car didn't break. And the thing is if you do 1,000 laps, you're bound to break something. Everybody breaks something. It's just a matter of how catastrophic and how quickly you can get it fixed. So eventually what happened was the first thing that happened to our car was the the ball stud worked itself out of the plastic steering rack,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had to replace the steering rack. So I think that took 12 minutes. And so then when we went out there, we still had a lead. And I think it got cut down to like maybe 10 minutes at that point. But then they broke again. They broke a rear bulkhead.
Oh.
And I mean, after that, it was pretty much again, it was just, okay, well, now we just got to take care of our car. And then I think John Haas just said, and I now remember that Steve Wall broke like 3 servos in that mini truggy.
What?
Yeah. I know he went to 2 of them for sure. So then one of the other things that happened to us was the ball stud on the front caster block worked itself out. The nut on the other side came out and it just came loose.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to find a nut, put it in there and retighten it. And then the last big break that we had, Emerson was driving and he broke a top plate and an A-arm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think that took like 8 minutes to fix or something like that. So all we had to do is make sure we finished. The pace was actually, the pace had started out sub 8 hours, and we ended up at 8 hours, 30 minutes.
Okay.
And that's about right. I thought 1,000 laps usually is about an 8-hour race. So
yeah,
that's where it was. So we got 1,000 laps. Talking Fish RC. Team Burt got second with 838 laps. And then Cup and Share got 803 laps. And I know that Team Burt and Team Cup and Share were actually maybe a lap apart for a majority of this race. It was just that one last break. It must have been something. I don't remember what it was, but they were really close.
Yeah.
So they were basically racing for second. Sometimes it would just be a battery change. Like one battery change and then it would flip, and then the other battery change and it would flip back. So it was fun. It was fun. I just wish that there was more teams this time, but because I think the last time we did it 2 years ago, I think we had 7 or 8 teams, and that was the most we'd ever had. And now this one was just 3 teams. So
yeah,
whatever. We all got free pizza.
Yeah. No, hey, everybody's a winner, right?
Yeah.
So the last carpet enduro, you were on my team that year. Remember that?
Not really. They all kind of blend. Honestly, they all kind of blend together.
With that 10 scale pan car?
Oh, the pan car one. Yeah.
So I ran an entire enduro on that car. I ran that car for 8 hours to practice with it, to make sure it was going to live and see what problems we were going to have with it. And then bulletproof that thing.
Well, I think 10 scale pan cars are pretty efficient, and they're pretty tough, really.
Right. No, I wanted to see what issues we could have.
Especially with the scoop body.
Yeah.
You're protected pretty well, and you can just kind of move people out of your way.
Well, and the car's like designed for a servo saver.
Yeah, that's true too.
But yeah, because I ran that. I thought we ran a 8.5. I think that's what we ran.
Yeah, it was pretty fast.
And Tim's team ran 21.5.
Yeah.
And like he tried to drive our car and Tim couldn't drive it. He's like, this thing's too fast. I was like, dude, I can't drive your car because it's too slow.
I just remember that one because I was being such a huge butthole. I would not wait for a single person because we had the scoop front end on it. We had the scoop body. So I just came up behind people and just scooped them up, moved them out of the way. Yeah.
Well, and when we
were getting mad.
Yeah, our team was not. We didn't finish at the end, but we had enough because I just ran the whole battery dead because we had a 60 lap lead at the end.
Yeah,
and there was like 2 minutes left, and it's like, well, they aren't going to make that up, so we just didn't finish.
Right.
Like I think we did run the final lap or something. Like I actually cleaned it. Like I cleaned the body. For who's it? Ferrari would do that.
Yeah,
like they'd have such a huge lead. They come in and clean the car before the last lap.
See, now the on-road crowd does these TTO2 enduros where you got to build the car and then you run it, or the TTO1 truck ones.
Yeah,
and they're only like 2 hours or 4 hours or something like that, something short. I mean, the off-road one used to be 11 hours, and after the last one, that was 11 hours. I was like, this is too long.
Yeah. Well, the carpet one, the thing that always like bothers me about the TTO2 one is that like I ran that one with a team with like Bob Hamilton's team, and there's other teams that were like changing their motor just to change it. Oh, it's getting soft. New brushed motor.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's like, shouldn't you have to run the motor in the kit? Like, I could see like if your motor goes bad, change it. But there should be some kind of penalty for that. Like you shouldn't just be able to just change motors as much as you want. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
I always have to work now during those, so I don't really even pay attention that much.
And you're not missing much.
Yeah, no. That Friday before the Enduro, we had 52 Friday night entries. And then we actually had a pretty good weekend of racing. So we did our first Tiny Tuesday off-road last Tuesday, and kind of a small turnout. We had 10 entries, which I was expecting a little bit more than that, but it's we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I think it's something that can grow. On-road, still kind of low. We haven't quite got some of those nitro guys to come back in and race on a regular basis yet. But yeah. I actually raced USGT and took the win with two mains, the first main and the second main. I'm off at 7 now on Wednesdays, so I can actually race my on-road stuff.
Okay.
And no 12 scale yet, though. They didn't have a 12 scale class, but I did practice with mine.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a while. That car uses a spool. There's no diff. There's no gear diff. No nothing. It's just straight to the axle.
Yeah. The last 12 scale I drove had a spool in it.
It's one twitchy little mofo.
Yeah.
But I think I can get used to it.
Are you running 17.5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fast. Yeah, it's fast.
So
it's fast for 12 scale.
Well, when the grip comes up, you don't even have to lift.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I got to get used to driving like that. I'm not used to driving like that. I still lift. So let's pick up with this last Friday. So we had 33 entries, so it was down a little bit from the previous week, but we still had a good day. Let's get to the main. So we had a B main of E-Buggy. We ran that last qualifier, and I think there was 11 cars.
Yeah.
And I went into I talked to Trevor. I'm like, dude, you got to give us a B main here, because there was a couple things that happened. First, that's a lot of cars, but 8 scales. But secondly, there's not that many marshals. And thirdly, like the skill difference between the top guys and the bottom guys was so great that it was probably no fun for them either. Just having us come and lap them every 5 or 6 laps, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
So they had to be main. They did 2 bumps, and TJ Williams and Bender both bumped up. And which I thought was pretty cool, because they finished 9/100ths of a second apart, and they were just ahead of Lance Murray. And but I believe it was both their first times running E-Buggy. Yeah.
They had a really good race. Like I was actually like I was glad I was marshalling.
Yeah.
You know, like that was actually a really cool race to watch, because those two could have crashed, because every time that they were like somebody'd break away a little bit, the other one would crash. So like they'd both be crashed at the same time.
Yeah.
And like at any point, like Lance could have came in and won it.
Right.
Like it was really, really fun to watch.
So they got to race with us in the A main, and then Mini Truggy was John Haas and Steve Wall. Emerson Sturgeon blew up a speed controller in the second round. Our hobby wing doesn't work, and I got to send it in.
Oh no!
I don't know what happened to it, but it basically quit altogether. So that kind of bums me out. That's another reason why I've told him, I'm like, dude, do you want a new speed controller or do you want an engine? Because I can't afford both right now. And I don't know. He likes racing mini truggy, and I like him racing mini truggy too because it's a little bit less work on my end. Although he can do stuff on his own too, as far as maintenance and work goes. But
yeah, he buys an engine.
Yeah, right. He's got to save up for a car.
Oh,
he just turned 15. By the way, my son just turned 15 Sunday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's 15th birthday. So now we need to get him his learner's permit, and he needs to start thinking about getting a car.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. So we'll.
Do you think he's actually going to work at the HobbyPlex?
No.
No.
Nope. I don't want him to. I don't want him to for a couple of reasons. First off, the main reason, one main reason, I'll yell at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I won't. Like it'd be bad, to be honest with you. If we both work at the same time and he doesn't do stuff, I'll be upset at him.
Yeah.
I don't want him. He needs a boss that's not me. To work under. So I don't really want him to work at the Plex.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, then you got to worry about everybody else thinking that I would give him special treatment or anything like that.
Sure.
I just don't.
I'm sure everybody's thinking it.
Plus, if some douche canoe ever came in and like gave him a hard time, started yelling at him,
mm-hmm.
that'd be the day. Like
Yeah.
So I just don't want him working there.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a job that doesn't have me as a boss or involved. 13.5 four-wheel drive. You had TJ Williams taking the win. Diego Quintana was second. Dalton Conrad came up for a Friday night dirt race and finished third. And then Jake Conrad ended up fourth. And your top three got 15 laps, and Jake got 14. So it was not too far apart there. Pretty close. And it looks like Dalton led most of that too. Shows TJ only leading the last 2 laps. So they were pretty close.
Oh, wow.
Looks like there was a B main, a Plex spec. Had Chris Kinzer, Mason McCaughey. Is that right? Angel and Jameson Rezanov and Steve were in the B. I think Steve went home. And then Plex spec A main had Mario Quintana, Andrew Rash, Emerson Sturgeon was running the family slash. And he actually, so I was trying to do a preview video of the carpet track, so I had to turn down Trevor on the inside speakers. So Emerson didn't know that he was up. So he actually got out there late and still ended up finishing third. Nick Petrazak was fourth. Ben Dinger was fifth. Jaden Petrazak was sixth, and Diego Quintana was seventh. And then we get to our E-Buggy, the last race of the night. Where's it at? Where did it go? Well, there it is right there. So you had Jackson Anderson, you, me, then Logan Prismanis, John Haas, Daniel Bender, and TJ Williams making that main event. The top 3, we finished with 20 laps. You were 2 behind Jackson, and I was 2 behind you at the end.
Yeah.
And
I've been sitting here thread locking my car because I had apparently I missed a thread lock on my inner rear ball stud, and it was after that race it was only hanging on by like 2 threads.
Really?
Yeah.
Funny story. My front left steering linkage was also dangling by a thread.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep. I had a whole bunch of slop, and I was going over it on Saturday morning because I don't have a carpet car to race right now, so I was just working on my 8 scale, and I was like, man, I got a lot of slop, and I started looking at stuff, and yeah, it had like that much left on it. Otherwise, it would have came off. I got super.
Oh
lucky.
man,
I got lucky. Got really lucky to finish. So I don't know, man. Jackson's gonna get a big head because he's won 2 weeks in a row. And
yeah. Well, he's also been driving his 8 scale a lot more than us.
Yeah.
Like that was the first time I ran this thing other than FTR. So
Yeah.
which might as well be the first time I ran it.
You and I were pretty close to him at the start, and then I winged you.
Yeah.
And it was
I reeled him
slow
back
motion.
in.
It was like slow motion there too.
Yeah. Well, like you like jumped over my right rear, and I tried to throttle out of it, and my car just wouldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if like you're picking my car up off the ground to where it just diffed out.
I probably was.
I was just like,
I just saw it like you and I were both there, and we dropped down, and I was making the turn. I came up right behind you, and I was like, oh no. And then I winged you and turned you, and then we lost track of him. And then, like you said, we both started to I think we both started to track him down a little bit, and then you really pulled away there the last maybe 5 laps, I think, for me.
Yeah, I started hitting some lines there the last because I changed my car like every run, like bars, shock, spring, location, things like that, and it's just like getting used to driving it again like every run. But
I can tell you that I made a change to my car that was better than the previous Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at the setup sheets. I took Tebow's and I took Wiggins setup sheets, and I put them side by side just to see what they're running and what they're running different and what was different on my car.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had some camber link positions that were different, and my rear axle height is definitely different than what they're both running the same rear axle height. So I'm going to change to what they're having, and then I'm going to try it out the next time we get a chance to race, which is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
there's no Family Friday off-road this week?
There is, but I won't be there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be up there.
Yeah. So I have some changes that I've made again, and I might even do it on the Thursday night after hours. I got my car at home just to have something to do on there. But I'll be ready to come back for 2 weeks, see how that's going. Plus I got my tires today too.
Oh yeah.
I got my quarterly allotment of tires, so.
Sure.
That and carpet tires. Got my carpet tires too.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Not really. No, I kind of am. I kind of wish I was racing Friday or Saturday. Carpet track was really good.
No, it looked cool.
It was cool. I wasn't sure about the layout at first. Then I started watching everybody drive it, and I'm like, man, this looks fun. Like, there was no crazy big jumps or anything. It was just fun. So, made for some good racing, though, between everybody.
Yeah.
But we'll get there here in a second. Anything else you want to talk about Friday?
No, not really.
Not really? What tires did you run?
Gold Ellipses.
Gold Ellipses? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even break them in, really. I just ran them.
Well, on 8 scale, you don't really have to do all that anyways.
No. Jackson was running slicks, and I think that might have had something to do with
really
some speed.
I'm still running dirt webs, gold dirt webs.
Yeah,
just because I have
but
them.
I don't think it. I think that they're faster initially, but they'd go away quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't think you could get away with it in a 10-minute race.
Well, I mean, Emerson was running truck slicks.
Yeah, that's a lot lighter vehicle though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So Friday nights, dude, I think Friday nights are going to be really good. I think there's a small contingent of guys that don't want to race carpet that will be there every Friday, and then it hopefully kind of turns into an 8 scale night again. Because that's what it was, back when we tried to run Nitro on Fridays. It was an 8 scale night, and it's traditionally been an 8 scale night. So now that I think UI and Jackson and Lance and Bender and John and Steve and all those guys have E-Buggies, I think it'll make more.
Yeah, I like running 8 scale on Friday nights because hey, since you're not running the program, maybe not necessarily as much track prep, is done.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not complaining. Everybody's racing on the same track, but when you're racing and running the races, you notice things a little bit more. Track needs blown off, edges need watered, that kind of thing. With 8 scale, none of that stuff matters a whole lot. Like, I don't care. There could be big old clods, whatever. I don't care. And, it makes it so we can run our cars really fast and go over all the clods and stuff that the Plex Spec guys kind of bring out or whatever. And it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it really isn't.
Well, and that's kind of what's always been nice about our 8 scale season. So for those of you guys that are watching that don't know about the Hobbytown HobbyPlex, the last how many years have we been doing it this way now? Since 2012, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
So we're kind of weird. Our 10 scale season is in the summer, and our 8 scale season is in the winter, and it's just sort of been like that ever since it became apparent that it was going to be like that. Which is, I'd say, about 2012. We tried to run a summer nitro series in 2012, and the turnout was horrible. And, it just didn't work. And so we switched it to a winter series. And so what's cool is our track in the summertime is way more consistent and easier to manage for a 10 scale racing than it is in the wintertime. And because we have, because we're in the Midwest and you have these big temperature swings, and we have to water the track and the track is heated, you get this this condensation that builds up on the roof because of the way our building is, and it drips onto the racetrack. And so if we were to run 10 scale, keep running 10 scale in the dirt, I'd say right around October is when that starts. Pretty much your whole morning is a waste.
Yeah.
Because you got that drip that's got to go away, it's got to burn off, and the track's horribly inconsistent. And then you would get in a good maybe second qualifier when the track was just right. And then by the time the main started, the drip started again. And all of a sudden, everything's out the window again for the main. Yeah. And I've tried my best to minimize that. We have these cool, neat gutters that are hanging from chains that collect all the drip and end up going into the beams, and then it drip, and then that comes down, and it's kind of out of the way. But there's still some of that roof of ours is so high, and I'm scared of height, so I'm not getting up there. And so you still have it. It's just not as much as it used to be. But for the 8 scale people, that doesn't matter a whole lot, and it works itself out a lot faster than it would with the 10 scale cars. So that's kind of why we switch. That's why we have our 8 scale season starts in October, because you can make the track a little bit bigger. It doesn't require near as much maintenance for that scene to be happy. And then if there is drip, it kind of gets worked out a lot quicker.
Right.
So, and then you got the carpet. That's why carpet on road for us was such a cool idea, because
carpet off road.
It's the same, no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a change at 9 a.m. and for the most part, it'll be, you'll be able to feel that change at 7 p.m.
Right.
So,
if anything, your car just gets faster as the grip comes up.
Yeah. So that's kind of the weird thing. That's why we've always had the winter series starting in 2013, and now it's the Techno Winter Series since 2015. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's talk carpet off-road. So we had a good turnout. We had 63 entries, almost 40 people. And this was our first carpet club race of the year. And I thought it went really well. I think we were done by 7:20. We had a whole bunch of lower mains. We had a expert C main, independent C main, and then B mains and everything else, independent, expert, and 13.5 wheeler. Plex Spec, it's pretty cool because all these guys and gals have two-wheel drive buggies now.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamie Peevler took the TQ and a win in Plex, and so that's a TQ point for him. And he broke in round one. He kind of got whacked into, and then came back to take the TQ in the second heat. And then Carson Sanders got second. And then Ryan Nemec finished third. And Isabella McMullen with her new buggy finished fourth. And then Sawyer Haley finished fifth. But nice. I think his car broke about halfway in, unfortunately. But this was good to see. A lot of these kids have gotten significantly better since the last time we saw him, like Jamie, for instance. I don't think I've seen him race since last carpet season.
Yeah.
I don't think he came into any of our summer series. We had some stadium trucks, and you had Jake Poteet taking the win. Garrett Paul finished second. TJ Williams got a TQ and a third. So that bonus point's going to give him second place points. That's why you always hang in there. Phil Palmer, he had to leave and come back. So I think he missed a qualifier. Finished fourth. And then Kelvin Campe, I hope I got that last name right, finished fifth. And then Wyatt Lenners, I think something happened to him in warm-up. Either that or they left. Oh, they left. They had something to go. They were going to like a haunted house or something like that here in Omaha or in Sioux City or something like that. They had to be gone by a certain time, so they left. Expert A-Main. This was a pretty good one. You had Mike Sanders getting the TQ and a win. He was pressured by about 3 different drivers. I think it would have been John Kinzer and John Berding really applied some pressure early, and he kept holding him off, and finally he kind of pulled away. John Kinzer ended up getting second. Jake Poteet was third. John Berding finished fourth. Garrett Paul was fifth. Corey Tannehill was sixth. Jana Peevler qualified straight in the main, finished seventh, and Phil Palmer finished eighth, and he was one of your bump ups from the B. And actually, Garrett Paul was also a bump up from the B and ended up finishing fifth. And I think if I remember right, Garrett he was our third member of our enduro, and he moved here recently from Eastern Iowa.
Okay.
So I think he raced at that Star Hobbies over there in Moline or wherever it is. So
yeah, he was texting me on Facebook about information and stuff about the track. So that's pretty cool. Nice guy.
Yeah, super nice. Then you had Mod 2-wheel, and we had 7 mods. When I get my Schumacher done, it'll be 8. But you had Ethan Delaire with a TQ and a win. But I got to say that Caden Berding is getting pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
So he was right on Ethan's heels for a majority of this race, and he ended up being a lap down at the end. But for the first, say, minute, I mean, he was matching Ethan lap to lap.
Yeah.
So
just take cleaning up some of those mistakes,
Yeah. So that's really cool because, I mean, the progression Caden's won Plex Spec in 2016 at the Summer Series. Mm-hmm. And then ever since then, they've kind of been, they haven't been around for a couple of years. And then the last 2 years, they've kind of been coming every week. So during these things, and to see Caden's progression is really cool. Jackson kind of got smoked. Qualified 5th. He ended up finishing 3rd, but he was 2 laps down to Ethan and 1 lap down to Caden. David Peevler qualified 2nd, finished 4th. Brian Burnt got that he wasn't going to run carpet, and then he won a car at the Summer Series, so here he is. His car looked pretty good. Just needs it almost has, it looked like it had too much grip. Like it couldn't flow through the corners as well. But he finished 5th. Mitchell Pavel was 6th, and then Adam Pesh, I believe it was their first time here, finished 7th. And then let's move on. 13.5 four-wheel drive. You had John Berding from the 3 spot up to the 1, taking the win. Followed closely by Mike Sanders, and then David Peevler got 3rd. Did get the TQ, so he's got 2nd place points, for the first week here. John Kinzer finished 4th. Nathan Hogenmiller, who I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
He finished 5th. He actually had a pretty decent day. He just missed out on making the bump in expert 2-wheel drive, if I'm not mistaken. But
That's cool.
And we'll get to Independent Buggy here in a minute. And then Adam Pesh finished 6th. Ronnie Wint got the bump, finished 7th. And Derek Myrtle, he broke out. He was doing really good, and he was driving a Serpent, but he broke out. He was kind of bummed. He was pretty bummed about that.
Yeah, I bet. I would be too.
Mod 4-wheel drive, there's just 3 of them, but it was fun to watch. Ethan Delaire actually did not TQ. Caden Berding did. But they flipped for the finish. Ethan got a 12.7 for fast lap. Caden got a 12.8. And then Mitchell Pavel just sort of drove around and got out of the way every couple laps for 3rd. I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
Not every couple laps, just 1 lap.
Yeah.
And then Independent Buggy, you had Nate Hoganmiller with a TQ and a win. Bender getting 2nd. And Josh McMullen getting 3rd. And then it was Phil Palmer, TJ Williams, Ronnie Wint, Lance Murray, and Adam Pesh. And what's really cool about Independent Buggy for me is just these guys. These are just regular guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know? These are the guys that they like racing RC cars. They don't necessarily have aspirations of ever making anything more out of it than just something to do.
Yeah.
For the most part, you know. I mean, somebody like Daniel and TJ, I mean, they're young and maybe one day, you know, they could be sponsored somebody and get to travel a little bit, but the rest of these guys, you know, they're just there to because they like it. So, and 21.5 is perfect for carpet.
Yeah, in that class.
Yes, I think so. It's a perfect motor. So overall, a good day. We have to. I'm going to put the track up on Thursday, so you don't have to do anything. You might have to retape some stuff because the guys do like to practice on Friday, and then Saturday it'll be all yours.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm running. There's a new sheriff in town. I'm running the races on Saturday.
Yep. All right. Well, let's take a pivot break and then we'll get to the comments and then we'll get done. Get out of here.
Okay.
Sounds do that? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Yeah! This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group, and today is May 10th, 2021. And we want to talk about interest rates and where the market is today and where we kind of see the rates going potentially into second quarter, going into third quarter. Interest rates have moved up 50 basis points since the 1st of February. So we were on a 30-year, right at the beginning of February, we were close to 2.375 to 2.5, right in that range. We went as high as 3.375 about 3-4 weeks ago, and we're back down now to about 3% on the 30-year. So a lot of things that are kind of going and moving against low interest rates right now. We have obviously the infusion of capital into our economy within the last 12 months. We've pushed through and continuing to push through about $6 trillion in debt from the beginning of COVID through the last push. So there's a lot of money that's going to be coming into our economy, being printed up, and a lot of employment going on. And in combination with that, converging with the amount of money that's sitting on the sidelines right now. So all the families that, including mine, did not take a vacation last year and have just disposable income has been growing momentum in your savings accounts. You're going to see a lot of people taking that money off the sidelines and start purchasing things and doing things and kind of getting back to a somewhat normal life. And when we have the amount of money that we're going to be printing with the money that the government's borrowing and having convergence with that and the consumer spending that is happening, and then the final piece in that is payroll, in which we start to see payrolls going up and the job numbers coming down. And everywhere that I'm looking around in our different markets, there's just help wanted signs everywhere. Just driving in to do this recording, they were talking about the lack of employment in the service industry. And they just can't hire enough people right now to help. And they're getting crushed on Mother's Day because of the lack of employees to help in the service sector. So when we have those three things going against the rates, you're going to start to see inflation pop up. And the effects of the inflation typically are in rear. So you're not, by the time that we start to see some of those numbers pushing higher, it's already been cooking for a little bit. And, I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to see rates over 4% in 12 months. We'll just have to kind of see, keep our eye on it. But that being said, rates are actually down a little bit here within the last week or so. It's a great time still to refinance. The rates are slightly higher, but still fantastic. When I jumped in the industry 27 years ago, prime was at 10. So, 3.5%, 4%, 5%. These are all still really great rates. If you're in a situation where you're looking to refinance just rate and term, you need to take advantage of the market over the last year. We're lower, I should say, than where we were 2, 3, 4 years ago. So there's still a big advantage there. Cash out if you're looking to do some consolidation. My oldest is going off to college, so I'm thinking about that. If you're looking to take some cash out to pay for college or even do some home improvements, there's a lot of equity that's starting to grow in Omaha, and we've been watching this for several years in Colorado. Take some of that equity and double down on it and make the improvements that you need to your property. So the financial outlook for interest rates, obviously, we all know that they're going up. It's not if, it's when, and the when's happening right now. So this is a good time to lock in your rates before you kind of get caught on that next adjustment, I guess. If you have any questions on any of that, feel free to give me a call, 402-881-5951. Ask for David Olson or shoot me a text, 402-881-5951.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I saw the blank screen. I was like, oh no.
Oh no, my phone went to low power mode.
Oh, and then I heard water, so I was afraid you were in the bathroom.
No, I did go to the bathroom.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, dude, I don't know what's going on at the Plex, but somebody broke the women's bathroom toilet.
What? How?
The seat is broken like in half.
Oh boy.
What is going on?
Like, I bet somebody's hit it with a bat just because we keep talking about
poop
how
and then
destroyed
puke,
the bathroom.
and now a broken toilet, and somebody backed up the dirt toilet, which was actually supposed to be closed. So they left me a nice surprise that I had to go clean up, which I haven't done yet. So maybe somebody else took care of it. It's kind of what I'm hoping. It just sort of takes care of itself.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna walk in there tomorrow and go, oh God, no. That house just gave you a $10 super chat.
For what?
He says, "Watch out, Sheriff Will is in charge."
Aw, thanks, buddy.
And which I still got to pay you, by the way.
Yeah, I need my internet money.
Yeah, I'm actually on the 21st. I should be getting a YouTube payout, so I should be able to send you something.
That'd be cool.
Did you? What were you gonna say?
Oh, anything would be nice.
Yeah. Did you keep an eye on the race this weekend, the Kinwald Classic?
No.
It's kind of cool. They had a vintage class.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of neat. That'd be something I'd like to try.
Yeah, I'm surprised you were not there. Or you weren't there.
I can't afford that sort of thing right now. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
But Jerry Walter got the win in vintage. The name's very familiar, but I can't place it. I don't know. It's fine.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's all right. I think he's an old like Losi guy.
No, really.
Maybe I might be wrong. I don't know. But they had 170 entries. I would have thought they would have had more. The problem with October for placing races right now is you've got the Masters of Dirt coming up this next weekend or this weekend.
Yeah.
The cactus, not the cactus. Geez, where am I? But the Masters of Dirt race. Then you've got the J Concepts carpet race in Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got like the Fall Classic that I'm going to as announcer. I'm not even racing. Not even going to bring a car. Just running the show.
Somebody's probably going to try to give you a car to race.
Yeah, maybe. There's just a lot of races.
Yeah.
To try to work around.
No, that's for sure.
And I don't know, but this one was interesting. I'm pretty sure Spencer Rivkin won the mod class. Where's it at? Let me see if I can find it. Yep, it was Rivkin, Cavallari, Tommy Hines. I don't even think races that much anymore. Ron Duvall, Scott Spear, Josh Ben, Kevin Gatone. Wanger was there. Ryan Collar and Richard Lake. Looks like they had.
Nice.
Looks like they had.
I think Richard Lake's nickname is Zippy.
Zippy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he's a nice guy. Every time I go to the Reedy race, I end up pitting with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, four-wheel drive was Ryan Cavallari, Spencer Rivkin, Ron Duvall, Josh Ben, Kevin Gatton, Kurt Wanger, Riley Wortman, Richard Brody, and Todd Farnham. And then check to see if there's anybody else I recognize in like the stock class here. I don't think anybody that we knew went to that. No.
Not local. I mean, I know some guys that are there, but
yeah. Nate Sutherland, the Sutherland family's at the Masters of Dirt.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they actually I think they went on vacation. That's what they did last year. They went like 3 days early and just sort of enjoyed it.
Nice.
So, yeah. So they're going down there. I'm interested to see what the track is going to look like. I hope they reveal it soon because supposedly there's lots of elevation changes on it this year. So I am curious to see. That track's cool at BHRC because it's got like you run slicks the whole time. It's smooth. There's dust, but you don't really notice it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that like kind of red clay mixed stuff. So I'm curious. And he's running mod, I think. I think he's going to run mod this year.
Oh, nice.
So we'll be rooting for him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into the comments and then we'll get out of here. Peter Renault. Did Will thumbs down the Nintendo Online expansion RIP video?
No.
Didn't Nintendo do something where you have to like pay it's like micro transactions now for something?
No, I thought it was like, because I pay for Nintendo Online or whatever their subscription service is. I have that, and you can play all the NES and SNES games that are on the streaming service or whatever.
Oh, okay.
As much as you want, and I think that the Nintendo 64 games and Sega Genesis games are going to get added to that. I don't know if you have to pay more for those, but
I saw something on Reddit in the last couple weeks that had a whole bunch of angry people at Nintendo, so they might have to pay more for it.
Oh,
maybe that's what that is.
Yeah, I mean, you could emulate them for free or
exactly.
accidentally emulate them for free, but
right.
I mean, I don't know. I'd rather play them on my Switch with all the cool features, and like there's like a Nintendo 64 controller that you can buy for the Switch, but the only way you can buy it is through that service.
Oh,
maybe that's it.
Interesting.
And you can get a Sega Genesis controller for your Switch.
Oh, really?
Which I want to get that. I'm going to get
Super.
both those things.
Is Super Street Fighter 2 on there?
I don't know.
Man, that'd be one
Maybe.
of the games I'd like to play with the Nintendo, or I'm sorry, with the actual Sega controller. I was really good at that back in the day.
Sonic 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, Sonics are always fun.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. Hopefully they add like Sonic CD and stuff like that to it, or because there was even like an unreleased Sonic game too that would be neat if they ended up adding it to it, kind of like Star Fox.
Right. Yeah.
2 or whatever, but who knows? I mean, that stuff could have all got lost in the interweb somewhere, and nobody could ever recover it. Type of deal. It's like, oh, why don't you just remake this old RC car? Well, the molds don't exist anymore.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's like all those people. How come you can't reproduce a JRX Pro SE? You're like, well, you know.
Because you have to build new molds for an outdated car.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a Star Wars game. I think it's Rebel Assault on Sega CD that I always used to go over to Matt Leibman's house and play.
yeah,
And his I believe it was his brother was always like, "You're just here so you can play Sega CD," and I'm like, well, I mean, kind of.
yeah. Why are you here?
Yeah. Right. But dude, Sega CD was one of those things I never did have.
I never had one.
At one time, because I used to work at a video game store, at one time I had almost every system at once. But Sega CD was one of the ones I didn't have.
Yeah,
Because you couldn't find a working one. We had such trouble trying to find a working one that actually worked.
yeah.
So,
Because it was like a thing that plugged into the Genesis, wasn't
right,
it?
yeah, you like slid it in. It was this big bulky thing, and you had to slide the Genesis in. You took a thing out, and there was a little port there, and it clicked together. And a lot of times that clicked together, it didn't work.
Huh.
So whenever we'd get one in use, we had to take the time to get a Sega out, plug everything in, click it all together, and then sit there and wait for it to load. And most of the time, it didn't even work.
Yeah, that or the belt wouldn't work to spin the CD, the disc.
It was a big, bulky thing, but it was kind of cool. Just didn't have a whole lot of support.
Yeah, because they released that like right at the end.
Yeah,
and then like they had that come out, and then it's like, all right, Saturn or whichever.
I think it was
And
Saturn,
then,
Saturn, and then Dreamcast.
Yeah, the Saturn was like still coming out, and then like, all right, you got the Dreamcast too.
Yeah. I skipped the Saturn altogether, and I ended up with a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know if I probably mentioned this on here before because we get talking about video games, but one of my favorite games to play. So when Gretchen and I first moved in together, this is like 2000, November of 2000, and she never made me pay rent. So I got to spend a lot of money on stuff and a lot of dumb money on stuff, which I still do, but whatever. Except I got to pay rent now. But anyways, that's beside the point. One of my favorite games to play on the Sega Dreamcast was 24 Hours of Le Mans. Because you could literally set it up to run for 24 hours and do a 24-hour race.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I tried to, I stayed up. I remember staying up once to complete a 24-hour race on my Dreamcast. So that was fun. Gretchen would leave for work and then come back, and I'm still playing it. She'd be like, what are you doing?
Racing.
I'm racing. It's important.
My passion.
Yeah.
My passion.
It's important.
This is my passion. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, Gretchen?
I'm paying for rent.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve RC says hi. My sister said, "Sweet dad joke." Will,
What'd I do?
you did a dad joke earlier.
Oh, when you're like, I'm thirsty. Hi, thirsty. I'm dead.
Yeah, hi, thirsty. I'm dead. Yeah. I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. I'm dead. Jumpin' Picks. Hey, RC friends, what's up from the trails of Colorado? I'm gonna go back to Colorado sometime. What am I doing? The Rojas Rocas. I'm gonna go to that next year if they have it. It's a crawling event at Red Rock.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna schedule the summer series around that. Steve RC. So the RB10 would be okay for independent and Plex. I think so.
I think so on dirt, definitely.
On dirt, yes, definitely on dirt. You could make an argument, maybe not on carpet, but
Yeah.
Plex would be fine on carpet. It's just the rear motor stuff with that much grip would be you'd probably corner speed wise you'd lose out. But,
yeah.
I don't know. But definitely on dirt, I think it'd be dialed. To be honest with you, I kind of want to get one. I just got muted because the dog.
Sorry.
Did you tell your dog to shut up?
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Well, they're. I have them down here, and they went up to the back door, and they're like barking at the back door. Nobody's here.
Was it the one that snuggled with me or the other one?
No, the one that snuggled with you is crying, and the other one's feeding into her anxiety and barking.
Great.
And she was laying down here. Dasha, come here. She was come here, lay on the floor. Come on. She was laying like right here on the floor next to me. Like no issues. Anyway.
Jason Haley says, do it like the Beetlejuice commercial. That'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Remember that Beetlejuice thing?
Oh yeah, I know the movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched that movie in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Steve RC says, don't let the other HobbyPlex steal your commercial idea.
Oh.
I don't think they'll worry about it.
Yeah.
RC next Tuesday. RC you next RC you next Tuesday. I get it. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Did you see the Biden bucket?
I did.
So great. So funny.
Yeah.
And I also feel less weird about having Cardi B on it. On the bucket.
What was the whole deal with the Cardi B bucket? Like I never got the pop culture reference.
Well, because Cardi B took advantage of men at her clubs and stole from them. That's how the story goes. Before she was famous, that's how she made a whole bunch of money.
Okay.
There was they made a movie out of this. They like had a squad, and they would basically like inebriate the guys that were hiring them to strip or whatever, and then they'd take their stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I just thought it was funny that we put Cardi B on the picture of a trash can, and then they ran into her. Emerson actually thought about that. I don't know. It just turned into a thing. But then I was like, it's gone, so we need a new picture. And then I was like, what would be really funny there, but not be as weird? And then I found a perfect picture of our sleepy president, and I stuck him on there. So it's great.
Yeah.
So now that everybody runs into him, I get to say you hit the Biden bucket.
Yeah.
Or if they get really close, I say, man, that Biden just sniffed you. You just missed out. You just missed him. I don't know. I was having fun with it on Saturday.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for that one racer who's just like super left.
Doesn't get it that it's just like funny to make fun of anybody regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
but that hasn't happened yet.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet, so it's fine. It's good. Let's see. Now we get into we're talking about 8 scale. Jackson says his linkages were Loctited because he did the same thing when he first drove his car. The same thing happened to yours, Will. Alex says, Steve said that Alex Eichler tried to do 17.5, but his car broke in the mains, and we both missed the main. John Haas pointed out that you definitely got faster as the night went on.
Thanks, John.
Lance says Saturday's track was super fun. I agree. And when are you working on the carpet track Thursday? Jackson, pretty much whenever I have time. The problem with Thursday is that we have a lot of stuff to do. So it might end up being after we close, which is going to cut into after hours. So there may or may not be an after hours this week. I hope there is, but we'll see. They were talking about their kids. Nuthouse said, my oldest is bugging me about coming to race on Saturday in Plexspec. Not sure if he would just get in the way. It's Plexspec, so I don't think you have to worry about anybody getting in the way.
Come and participate.
Yeah.
That is all you have to do.
Yep. You'll be just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Renault says his are 21 and 24. Still at home, wasting all kinds of perfectly good RC kind of money.
Who?
Peter's kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jason Haley said the dirt track was only locked from the pits. Both the side doors were open. Well, they're always open. They're actually never closed. That's why we don't keep anything important in there. Riley Filbert says, where am I? That sounds like a personal problem to me.
I don't know. Where are you? Am I supposed to guess?
Yeah. Cody Mosier wants to know what Schumacher I got. I got the latest mod version. I can't even remember, but there is this mod and stock version. I ordered the mod version. Caden Bearden's on here. He said he hope Nate does good like last year. That would be cool. Yeah, Nate got second last year. Peter says the expansion is a ripoff.
Aw, Peter.
Yep, $50
For what?
for the Switch expansion.
Oh, really? Just so you can play Nintendo 64 games on the line?
I think so. Yeah,
It's $50 a month?
I think so.
That's highway robbery. I didn't know that. I ain't doing that. I don't have money for that. I got toy cars to build.
Yeah, me too. Lance Murray says E-Buggy Fridays. Let's go, Brandon. And that's it. That's all that's on there. So we are officially.
Who said that?
Lance Murray.
Oh, all right.
Yep. We're officially caught up
Nice.
after last week. So
Yeah, there was a lot to talk about.
yeah. What's that? Oh, is that your dog?
Yeah, they're
Poor
whining
thing.
at the back door for no
Poor
reason.
thing.
They just went outside before we started the show. Like I go outside in the yard with them, I take all the trash out and let them play in the yard, and they're out there for like a half hour, and they probably think, "Oh, my wife might be home." I think
Oh,
that's probably it.
okay. Oh, listen to him.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're cute little crybabies, hound dogs.
oh. All right, that's it. We better go.
All right,
All right,
cool.
enjoy.
Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
And listening.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. And
Yeah, man.
we'll I'll pay Will eventually.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that. I'm going to be able to retire on that. It's like
Yeah.
my 401k plan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as always, this show brought to you by Pivot Lending Group, and you can find them at pivotlending.com. Mention our show, and to either Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, you can get yourself a 0.125 interest rate reduction or $500 lender credit off of a purchase, a home loan purchase, or a refinance. Either way, just call them and say, "Hey, I need to talk to Aiden Olson's dad." So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Innocent's dad.
Yep. I hope Aiden's doing well. I haven't seen him since he went off to college.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't heard or seen of him at all. He's just gone.
Yeah. I hope he's all right.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's doing fine. He's probably got a girlfriend already.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
eating at the buffet every day. Working on the college 15.
Right.
There was the freshman 15.
Freshman
that's what it is.
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You better go take care of your dogs.
Yeah, I don't know what their deal. I'm never letting them come down here or sit in the stairwell again. Like, I thought they'd kind of calm each other, but nope. Oh, no way. They're like, hold my beer.
All right.
They're like, what? You're doing a podcast? Allow
Oh.
me to sing you the song of my people.
Yeah. All right. Bye.